How's it going, YouTube? op.poker James here. Today's a special fun session review. I don't know if you have been aware, but I do play a lot of spin and go maxes on PokerStars. They're kind of similar to the regular spin and goes that we review here, but you get a different amount of players, anything between 3 and 8 players, and then you also sometimes get second, third, even fourth place paid as well. So they were more like a sit and go kind of thing rather than a spin and go. Now, a friend of ours who is also a content creator, they made a YouTube video. There'll be a link down in the description below where they commentated on a big spin and go max that they played. It was at the $15 stakes, and first place could win up to $1,010. So we're going to jump in and see how they played. Now, I've played a bunch of spin and go maxes. I've played close to 7,000. I am in the profit, but not by much. So unlike the spin and go reviews we do before, you're going to have to take this with a pinch of salt. I do believe in the long run I will have a good ROI in them, but I don't have the results to back me up. I think if you look at some of the big videos I did for spin and go maxes in the past, pretty much all of the big spins, I picked the wrong box, and that's why I'm losing. So, or not losing, but not winning as much, in my opinion. So we'll see how it goes. I'm still going to play them. I think they are a good way to make money if you're able to play a lot of volume, far more than regular spin and goes. So yeah, you got to be careful with these games. Anyway, they are good fun. Let's jump in and do a review. So this is going to be a lot different to a regular spin and go because we've got 5 players and we're in a big spin and go max here. For $15 entry, you could win up to 1,000, and 3 people are paid money. Now I don't know the exact payouts here, but in general, third place will be quite a big bubble. Second place will be not as big a bubble, but still important, and then first place will get the majority of the prize pool. So really, I think for the most part, Bobby or Poker Winger, Dusty Truth here, should be looking at surviving until 3 people are left and then going from there. So you don't want to be anywhere near as aggressive as you would be in regular spin and goes. If you want to see their thought process on hitting this big spin, go check out their channel because they recorded this and commentated over it. So it could be pretty useful for you to see what he's thinking here, because I have muted what he's been saying so we can talk about it. So he's looking at the payout structure here. And now seeing how the games go. We already had a limp under the gun, so I'm guessing that this red mark means they're playing a recreational. Again, I would put J-Coat as a recreational as well. If they're limping in non-anti games, even with many places paid, I think it's better to not do that. So here I think we've got at least 3 recreationals in this game already. So I would be marking this guy's recreational, this guy, and this guy. The reason for marking this player is they've just min-raised as an ISO this limp. So they've tried to isolate this limp by just min-raising. That's a terrible idea. You've got no fold equity. You're giving big blind a good price to come along. You're giving small blind a good price to come along. It's just not doing what it should be. It's not serving a very good purpose. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, you've got at least 3 people here, I think, who are recreational. So this is a good sign. Playing $15 stakes. You want people to be playing very, very badly. One thing you will notice is most players, when the prize pool gets big, become even worse players. They're going to do really silly things in terms of either being too tight or too loose, or just the pressure gets to them and they do some silly stuff. Anyway, ace jack here. I like the min raise. We've been called. Probably going to play 3-handed pot. Yep. Oh, that's a beautiful flop. Okay. Yeah, I like the bet size. It's a very dry board. You're not scared of much. Kind of scared of a king or a queen coming out, but that's it, really. So I like the bet. Unfortunately, you don't get action, but that's okay. Okay, a limp and an ISO and then an overcall. Wow, these games are looking pretty juicy. I have to say. We just want people to bust, right? If people can bust nice and early, this is great for us because there's 5 of us and 3 people paid. So almost immediately we'll be on the direct bubble, which I think these players will be playing incredibly wrong. Given how it's going so far, it looks like that is the case. There's a lot of chips in this pot already. Unfortunately, we don't get any bust outs. But we are getting some shorter stacks now. The 2 people to our left are the shorter stacks. Oh, this is not fun. Yeah, I don't mind over limping. I think that's fine. But now, if these 2 players fold, you've got to call the king queen. Okay, good. I like it a lot. This is brilliant. Very nice. Very nice. I like how you played it. Yep. Because I don't really want to ISO that much. Yeah. Because then you kind of commit yourself if they shove, given the under the gun limper's stack size. Over limping yourself allows the big blind, who's been very active, to do something stupid, which you just did. So yeah, I really like it. Now we're on the bubble, and with a big stack, this is brilliant. You should, in theory, be able to put on pressure against these players, but we've been watching them so far, and they don't seem to care. So yeah, I wouldn't be anywhere near as loose and aggressive as I would if I was playing against regulars. ICM pressure only works if your opponent knows about it, because if they don't, they're gonna commit basically what is called as ICM suicide. Now, that is something that is not just bad for them, it's bad for whoever made the loose push in the first place. It's bad for those players. It's good for everyone who's not involved in the pot. So yeah, if you've got players doing that sort of stuff, it's pretty important. Let's go back to what I just missed. So we had 10-6, we called the flop, pretty standard. Then the turn, what happens? They check. You want to check back, I would say. I would say the bet doesn't make much sense. Like, what's the purpose of the bet? For value, for protection? What's the point here? I'm quite happy to go to showdown with this hand. They could easily have a jack. They could possibly have a weak ace. Yes, you are going to get some chips occasionally against gut shots, but let's say they're sitting here with a flush draw. Now they could shove on you and you got to fold. So yeah, I don't like that. You take it down though. That's nice. I don't really understand why you got the aggro tag on them though. I didn't see them doing anything aggro there. They bet flop and then check. Aggro to me means they bet the flop, they hit the turn, bet the river, and they got nothing. Anyway, we're in a great spot. We can put some pressure on. Oh, ace 10, I would be ISO raising. So this player is limped. I would be making it 2.5 big blinds, something like that, to go. If Jayco ends up shoving over you, I would fold. If they end up calling, you've got in position, you've got the aggression, and you've got a strong hand. And if they fold, then they fold. That's great. So if I make it 2.5 big blinds and then either of these players shoves behind, if Pumar shoves, we got to look at the odds. But honestly, I don't mind folding. I think they're going to have a very, very strong range, or they should at least have a strong range. So this is actually one of the weaker hands that I would be ISOing. So if I did get reshoved, which I don't expect to happen often for hands worse than mine, we can still make that fold, even though we're quite short. That's the very interesting thing about ICM, is that you can do a lot of raise folding at very, very short stack sizes if you were to plug these kind of spots into solvers. So anyway, yeah, I would have preferred to not play a four-way pot with ace 10. I would have preferred to raise, get these blinds out, and hopefully either take it down pre-flop or just bet the flop and get lots of fold equity on that as well. Because you do look very strong, and you're going to be doing the same thing with your aces, with your kings, with your queens, with your ace king suited, you know. So your range will be very strong and very, very protected. Now we're hoping that people call too wide. Doesn't happen. Another thing that Spin and Go Max has that Spin and Go's don't have is that after this triangle number of hands goes down to 0, everyone is forced all in until there is one winner with all the chips. So we've still got 13 hands to go, so things shouldn't be that different from a regular tournament without antes that has 3 people paid and 4 people left. But it does get a bit weird later on, so we can talk about that later. If we get there, that is. Okay, 9-3 suited. Against the min raise or a limp, we're definitely going to stick around. So I wouldn't have immediately folded that flop. I don't mind raising here with 9-3 of diamonds. I don't mind raising, and I don't mind calling. I think I'd rather do that than fold here, personally. Because you've got backdoor diamonds, you've also got a 3 that connects with the 4 and the 5. So if a 6 comes out or a 2 comes out, you've got an open-end straight draw. If a diamond comes out, you've got a flush draw. You can easily have hands like Jack 5, Jack 4, 5-4. You've got plenty of strong hands there. And it's hard for them to play back because they really, really want to wait for Pumar to bust, or they at least should be. So you want to be really like nice and aggressive, given that you have this stack advantage over them. We've got a limp and a shove and a fold. This is also kind of indicating that their limp range might be very, very weak. So far, they haven't been able to play once facing aggression with the limp. But yeah, we're still in a good spot. Second in chips at the moment. We really want someone to bust though. 5-3. Yeah, I don't mind checking 5-3 and folding this flop against the bet. It's pretty hard to rep much if they check over to you. So I would, yeah, just check back. Give up. Yeah, I like that. You can't win every pot. So I like how you played it. Yeah, Jack 8. If we weren't in such a heavy ICM spot here, where there's 4 of us left and 3 people paid, I don't mind playing a hand like Jack 8 as like an overlimp, but given how short these 2 players are, you kind of want them two to go to war, so just let them do it, I guess. You want one of them to bust, and you want one of them to bust fast before you get dragged back into it. But it looks like that is happening, and there's only 7 hands left now, so it's getting a bit scary. You really want someone to bust. They're pulling it back. So now Pumar is by far the shortest stack here. We want them to bust, really. But it doesn't look like they're gonna, unless they actually have a very strong hand. This is brilliant. This is a brilliant spot to be in. Or is it? Okay, the jack hits. This is great. Yes. Nice. You're in the money. So all is good in the world. Right. Getting in the money. Three of us left. 4 hands to go. At this point, it would be nice to be chip leader or second in chips compared to being the bottom stack. Because if you're bottom stack, you will have to win the all-in round to get second place or higher, which isn't great. But the difference between third and second in these games generally isn't too big of a jump. So compared to a spot where there's only 2 paid, you don't have to worry too much about this. But it's looking good right now. You are second in chips with 2 hands to go. So this is great. Snap fold. And if it folds to you, you want to shove ace-3 for sure. If it doesn't, I think you probably want to... yeah, no, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the shove. We want the fold. We know they've been folding a lot against the shoves, so I love it. Poker Winger played a brilliant game there, I would say. Not much to criticize, I have to say. But I just wanted to highlight the different levels of strategy that you get in Spin and Go Maxes. Now, yes, there's crazy variance in this game, but I really like what they did here. You got to think about a lot more situations than regular Spin and Goes. And you play very short-handed a lot more often as well, because there are more players and the blinds go up very, very fast. Can we get the win? This is for all the chips, isn't it? Nearly all the chips. We get a pull back. Oh my. It ain't over yet. It really isn't over yet. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh my word. You beat aces. Wow. Well. Look at it. You can see his mouth's going round and around in circles. Maybe the 10-3. Oh, it's still not over. These all-in phases can take a long time. Obviously, doing a session review at this point is all luck based. There's not much I can say about it. When it comes to box picking, that's all down to personal preference, I would say. I've spoken to the head of product at PokerStars, and they told me, "Wow, you won! You won!" They told me that it's just completely random. So, yeah, pick whatever you want to pick. The options he has here are $165, $400, or $1,010. I guess there's a cash out option as well. Let's see what the cash out option is. $498. I would never take the cash out option unless it's incredible variance. You have to pay 5% fee on the total prize to get the cash out. So I don't like it, especially if you're a grinder. You can play through that variance in the long run. If you're playing all year long, making these cash outs doesn't make sense, in my opinion. But I guess we'll see what Poker Winger does. What are they going to do? Don't do it. Come on, you got to take the box. No, don't do it. I would pick the right box. But yeah, I wouldn't want to pay the fee there. Okay. Well, I'm glad I wasn't the one picking the box, because I would have been pretty annoyed. Nice one, Poker Winger. Yeah, how to win $1,010 on $15 Spin and Go Maxes. Very nice. If you want to give Poker Winger a follow, that would be great. Link in the description below. They play all sorts of games similar to us. They play Spin and Goes, they play Spin Flashes, they play Spin Max, they play Grand Tour, all this stuff. So give them a follow. Give them a subscription for YouTube. Do lots of content, and really nice guy. So yeah, I enjoyed this. Well played. Take what I said with a pinch of salt. As I said, so far I haven't been winning at the win rate that I would like. I'm under 1% ROI, so it's nothing special so far. But it might be down to the fact that in these big spins, I've been picking the tiny boxes. So we'll see. Hopefully, I'm gonna keep grinding on them over on the Twitch channel. So twitch.tv/op_poker. Give that a follow if you haven't done so already. I do stream there at least 3 days a week. So yeah, definitely give that a look. Anyway, thank you all for watching. That was a nice fun one, and I'll see you again soon. Peace.